the edge. Feel like I'm floating through the air. The pain I felt is paid for. All is said and done. I am restricted, fixed upon the web. I need to kick the habit that my mind is breathing in. Break out, I've got to see. Spent all my life holding all of it closely. I played it innocent, a feel of discontent. I'm finally facing it all, fearless. Burning the bridge that keeps us. I'm here and I'm feeling exaggerated, that's what you assume. The story's over now, I must conclude. I am conflicted, watching where I step still, hanging in the balance, not the life I want to live. I want to take it all, standing tall, fear I breathe the person you are.
What's up? What's up, guys? So, if you guys are bored, let's have a conversation. If you guys are bored, let's have a conversation. What's up, everyone? If you guys are bored, let's have a conversation. So, these are some prompts, some, thoughts of maybe an interesting conversation that might stir up some, good back and forth. Number one, men that date younger always should expect to pay. I think that, it's a trade of resources, I guess, right? Trade of value, right? An older man's resources for a younger woman's beauty and youth, right? Number two, there shouldn't be any demand for privacy in relationships. I don't believe that there should be privacy in relationships, right? I mean, again, to whatever you agree, but I don't think there should be privacy in relationships, right? Sneaking phones and all that shit. No, I don't believe that. Now, number three, a man in a relationship with you should get sex or sexual acts, anytime he wants, within reason, right? Within reason. Again, nothing too crazy, but I believe a man that's committed to you, right? He swear his sexual loyalty to you should get the privilege of getting sexual access from you, within reason. So it's just some opinions, some, I don't know, possibly interesting ideas. You guys have any back and forth? I'm always willing to elaborate on anything. Again, if you guys are bored, you want a conversation back and forth, I'm down. All right. If you guys are bored, you want to have a conversation, a bit of back and forth, a little bit of a debate, I'm down to explain any of my thought process. If you guys agree, if you guys disagree, you know. Well, I can always explain a bit more, right? Let me explain a bit more. So, for number one, men that date younger always should expect to pay. This is a thing where I've seen some videos of men, right, men or women, being naive to certain situations, right? So if a man is dating a younger woman, I don't want to hear you talk, dog. Yo, if you don't want to hear me talk, you could go, right? I mean, like, I don't understand. No one's forcing anyone to stay. All right, if you guys don't want to have a conversation, I don't understand. No one's forced to be here. All right, so Nicker, yeah, you could easily go. All right, so like I was saying, it should be pretty much common. I think any man that if you're dating a younger woman, you should understand what you're looking for, right? You understand what you're getting into. You're getting into a situation where you're essentially, I mean, the main thing is that you're going for her because of her beauty and youth, right? Now, she may be going for you for more than just money, but money and stability would be the main thing. A younger woman be dating an older man for mainly money and stability. Of course, there'd be other things. I'm not discounting that, but the main thing would be money and stability. So a man that don't understand that, oh, you will have to provide, you're going into it, naive, right? You're going into naive, right? You're not building with a younger woman when you're an older man. So that's why I believe with number one, right? To show that any man thinking that you're getting with a younger woman and she expects money, you get upset. That's ridiculous. That's stupid. That's you being naive, right? Big dog, big bars. What's up, my brother? What's up? Just having a conversation. If anyone wants to have a conversation, anyone disagrees, agrees, I'm always down. All right. If anyone's bored, we can have a conversation. If anyone is bored, we can have a conversation. All right. And, all right. Number two. What do I mean by number two? There shouldn't be any demand for privacy in a relationship. I always think it's weird, right? I always think it's weird that, you need to, let's say, take a phone call in another room, right? I mean, unless if the room is loud, understandable. But if it's like relatively, there's no noise. I can never understand the need for privacy in a relationship. So if you have a phone call, why are you going to another room? Or sometimes you want to hide text messages, or I mean, I'm not saying purposely, right? Your partner purposely try and dig through your phone, but again, there's really no need to hide things on your phone, in my opinion, or demand any kind of privacy. This is like a partner you have intimate relationships with. I agree. They don't get the final word. Stonegate, young girls pay on my watch. Really? That's an interesting way. I don't know many men could do that. Daniel Pack. This guy hasn't gotten laid ever in his life. Man, if that was true, I wouldn't have the kids I have, but hell. To be honest, having the baby mama issues I've had, I wish I've never gotten laid, right? So I wouldn't have the baby mama issues, but it is what it is. I agree, Stone. I agree. Set the expectations in the beginning. I 100% agree. Communication is very big. Communication is very important. I definitely promote that. Right? If you go into any relationship, any of these should definitely be talked about in the beginning. So 100%, I agree 100% with you, Stone Gate. Right? You got to set the expectations in the beginning. Okay? So I cannot argue with that. I 100% agree with you. I think too many people go into the relationship with very little communication. You know, you don't set the expectations, you don't set the boundaries in the beginning, and then you wonder why they cross certain boundaries that they never knew about, right? They never met certain expectations that they never knew about. 100% agree. I think this is a thing where many relationships fail because of lack of communication. Right? Many relationships fail because of lack of communication. So I 100% agree. That's where a lot of people fail. They're not talking things out. So I definitely agree. I definitely agree with that. Okay, so I said big bars. Exactly, I agree. Hiding phone is what liars do. But if you look and don't find anything, we are done. I agree. I mean, this is a thing where I, me personally, I don't mind, right? I have nothing to hide, right? And I believe trust. I believe trust should always be continuously built. So I personally don't hold. I personally don't hold people to that level of strictness. So if if you have if you want to look through my phone, I'm always down. I don't mind, and I wouldn't like break up with it because I honestly believe trust should always continuously be built. You shouldn't just give someone trust and then that's it. They don't need to do anything more, right? So I believe that it should be continuously built. How's everyone doing? How's everyone doing? Now, guys, if you guys are bored, I'm trying to start a conversation. If you guys are bored, right? If you guys are bored, nothing to do, let's have a conversation. Let's talk. Let's depends on how you want to go through my phone. I get it. I mean, I can understand that. Right? I definitely can understand that. I mean, like, I wouldn't. Evil Eddie, what's up, my brother? Nobody goes in my phone. It's mine. I mean, again, uh, one, I agree. I mean, like, I can see if that's your expectation, you said it in the beginning. But in my opinion, in a relationship, you shouldn't have privacy because here's the thing, right? You literally have sex with a person, right? You literally have sex with a person. You literally enter the person, or let yourself be entered. I don't know what's more private than that. So everything else is like doesn't compare. That's how I see it. I think men take way too much in relationships. I do, right? I honestly think that men deal with a lot in relationships. I honestly do. I mean, and I think the problem is a lot of men don't talk about it. I think that's a big issue. A lot of men don't talk about it, right? I think that is a big problem. I think men don't talk about it enough.
The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go through the wastelands, through the
Evil Eddie, I think most dudes still put most women up on a pedestal and make women the focus of their lives. 100%. I agree. I think this is a thing where I think a lot of men don't communicate or have boundaries with women. Right? I think a lot of men just let a lot of things slide when it comes to women. Right? I definitely agree that we put women on a pedestal. Men put women on a pedestal, which is always a detriment to men. Right? You gotta have boundaries. Right? You gotta have standards.
no, I don't want no rest. Echoing around these walls, fighting to create a song. I don't wanna miss a beat. And on we'll go through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go through the wastelands, through the highways. And on we'll we'll grow in number, fueled by them to see the horizon, turn us to thousands. And we'll grow in number, fueled by them to see the horizon, turn us to thousands. And on we'll go.
You ready? You agree with number one? I love it. Disagree with number two? Yes, I get it. I see you would disagree. Ah, number three, you agree. I can understand that, right? I mean, for me, it's like, I don't know, right? Privacy, I've never seen the need of privacy when I'm in a relationship because, I don't know, nothing about, it's not like I have top secret, things. Right? I'm not dealing with anything top secret. So I can never understand the need for privacy in a relationship, but, to each their own. I definitely agree, to each their own. I just don't see the point. And I have yet to hear any convincing argument against it. So, I don't know. Okay, I get that you enjoy being open and transparent with a woman. That is just not how I am with them. That's interesting. No, I agree. I mean, yeah, you gotta set what kind of boundaries you want, right? But yes, I do prefer to be open and transparent. Well, that's why I said big bars, right? Number three, not any time, but if I try first, she needs to do when she's ready, sooner or later. A month later is crazy. A month later, that is crazy. I'm more saying that anytime within reason, right? Within reason. There is within reason. I will say this, right? Not like if she's sick, not if she's busy. I'm not, of course, but it's like, again, with men, we give our, if women expect, sexual loyalty, they should understand the responsibilities that come along with it. Because I don't know about you guys, right? I've been in a relationship where, honestly, it turned sexless, and I could not deal with that ever again. In a relationship, yeah, and if it's sick, if sick, that's yeah. If she's sick, if she's sick, if she's busy, that's understandable. But if she's doing nothing, come on, really? I mean, like, you swear sexual exclusivity with her. You would think that she would take that as a, some responsibility for it. You would hope, right? You would hope a woman would do that. And that's the thing. That's the thing where I find it really interesting, right? Like, why wouldn't they want to have sex with your person? Exactly. And that's why I feel like if it turns into a sexless relationship, there's a problem. Right? If they don't want, and again, my number three is not like, oh, a man is like forcing sex upon a woman. No, but it's an indicator, right? If she doesn't want to have sex with you, there is a problem. There's some problem in the relationship if she doesn't want to have sex with you. Right? I dated a girlfriend, and she couldn't, we were like doing it every time. And then when it later on in the relationship, it started to die down, I knew that there was a problem. I knew that there was a problem within the relationship. So, in my opinion, right, when a relationship becomes sexless or very little, there's a bigger problem that needs to be addressed. Yeah, I'm not talking about forcing, but it's more meaning that it's not about forcing. It's more about, men, this is the problem you're seeing, right? If you're seeing a problem that she doesn't want to have sex with you, there's an issue. There's a deep issue, and that's where you need to, make it, you need to focus on. Because like I said, I've been in a relationship where it's sexless, and I let it go. I let it go on for too long. Relaxing with coffee. I'm just chilling as well. I'm just chilling, I mean, sometimes I want to do these lives to see if there's any people who are bored, want to chill, want to hang out, have a conversation about things. That's the thing where, exactly, Iveta, you should be able to directly talk to her and ask, hey, why aren't we having sex? What's up? I've done that, right? I had a girlfriend who gaslighted me. He's like, oh, it's not always about sex. Yeah, it's not always about sex, but if we haven't had sex in months, then there's something wrong, right? I literally had an ex that gaslit me into it, thinking, oh, all you care about is sex. Girl, we haven't had sex in a long ass time. To say that I only care about sex when we haven't done it for months? You gotta be kidding me. Yes, sex is the main reason you are here, lady. It's a big reason, right? It's not the only reason, but it's a big reason. And then if we're not having sex, there's a bigger issue that we're not focusing on, we're not talking about, right? And that's the point. That's the real point. It's not about, number three is not about, forcing anything on a woman. It's about, knowing that there's an issue that if she's not wanting to have sex with you, there's an issue. Exactly, Evil Eddie. Exactly. Not forcing, but the problem is, why does she not want to have sex with you? Exactly. Okay? Because here's my thing, right? And I don't know about you guys, right? I don't know about you guys, but the relationships I've been in, right? That we were having sex like crazy in the beginning. Crazy amount of sex, like every day, every other day. And then it turns out to having sex once a month. Then it's like once every other month and once every couple months. There's a problem, right? There's a problem. So it's not that, you get into one relationship and you never had sex and then, the relationship continues and still never has sex. No, but it's like you can see that if you got in a relationship and it was healthy, right? You guys were very intimate, very intimate very often, and then suddenly she doesn't want it. There are issues. Healthy people are horny. Exactly. That's part of health. That's part of your health. Right? And I've seen the patterns. That's the thing, where I've seen the patterns. Right? I've seen the pattern that a woman that starts to not want to have sex with you, a lot of times, I'm not saying all the time, it's not that she doesn't want to have sex. She just doesn't want you. And if that's the case, well, if she doesn't want to have sex with you, that's a conversation you guys need to have. I wish I learned that well before, right? So I wouldn't have stayed in certain relationships so long. Exactly, big bars. Exactly. She's getting it somewhere, if not from you. Exactly. Okay, Gray Man, what's up, my brother? Number one, you disagree with. Okay. Number two, some. Number three, depends. Interesting. I'm down. I'm down for a debate. Or I'm down for a conversation. Right? Because this is the thing. I don't know many, if any, older men can date a younger woman without paying for it. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, like that's gotta be a charming ass, good looking ass older man. You gotta be mad ass good looking. I think you gotta be mad ass good looking to be able to do that. And I think very few older men are even in that position. Even if you are good looking, I still think you have to pay. Right? Now, for some with number two, I mean, I just don't think, I can never understand any reason for privacy in a relationship. I can never understand any privacy in a relationship. And depends for number three. I don't know. I wouldn't date 6 years younger depending on how mature they are. That's the thing, right? I'm talking about like a 10 year plus gap, right? I'm talking about a decent gap. 10 years. I'm talking about 10 years. 6 years, okay, that's close, right? But I'm talking about 10 years. That's what I'm talking about. A 10-year gap. Oh, 31, okay. Well, a 21-year-old, that's not, and, a 31-year-old, I'm not, I wouldn't tell you to be dating someone that young, because honestly, at 31, you gotta be building. You gotta be building. Okay. DA, would you give her access to your bank account? No, I wouldn't give her access to my bank account, right? But I wouldn't shy away for, telling a girl my how much I have, right? This is the thing where no privacy is different than being stupid, right? No privacy is different than being stupid. All right, that's the thing. Like seeing my text messages, fine. Like knowing my bank's password, you're just being stupid, right? So I'm not saying men to be stupid, okay? Okay, don't shelf self-love, okay? Number 1, you agree, okay? Number 2, you disagree. And number 3, yes, within reason. Yes, I said within reason. There's always within reason, right? For number 3. Six years older too. That's interesting. Well, again, passwords is different, right? Like, if she's looking at my text messages, looking at certain apps, I don't care. Yeah, I mean, like, demand for privacy. Self-love. I would love to know your reasonings, right? I mean, like, what's your reasoning for number 2 having a no? But I just think that, demanding privacy is honestly, like, again, of course, is like, I'm not saying, oh, let's give out our let's give our social security to who we're dating, right? I'm not telling people to give your social security to who you're dating. Okay? I'm not telling people to give what's your bank account password to the people you're dating. But again, it's like, I don't mind giving my phone, my phone for a girlfriend to look at. I have nothing to hide. She can look at my pictures, look at my apps. I don't mind, right? And I'm not going into another room to talk on the phone. That's also one of the things I'm going to say, right? Yes, it goes both ways. I'm not going into another room so I can talk on the phone, right? Particularly if it's quiet, right? If I'm in a room with my girlfriend, and it's quiet, why would I go into another room, right? Unless I'm going to be loud and I'm bothering her, then okay. But if I want a private conversation, that is different, right? That is different. Exactly. If they want to go through yours, you go through theirs. I mean, agree. There shouldn't be privacy on both sides. I'm sorry, because, it's about gaining trust. It's about establishing trust. That's my point, right? You got to have some trust. I mean, yeah. Self-love said privacy is different than boundaries to me, I suppose. Like, I don't have social media outside of YouTube. I wouldn't really care if someone looked through my phone. Yeah, I'm saying boundaries. I'm not talking about boundaries, right? I'm not talking about boundaries. You got to establish some boundaries. Definitely, I agree. Establish boundaries. But, it's just a privacy thing, right? You got to, because it's part of establishing trust. Gray man, you got a friend right here, my brother, right? The chat. This is a family. Remember that. You have friends right here. All right? We're growing a friendship. We're growing a family right here. But I got nothing to hide. No social media, no or friends. My brother. We are family. We are a bunch of friends right here. We are brothers. I don't say I love you guys for just nothing. You know that. When I say I love you guys, I mean it. You guys are an amazing group of people. How's your guys' weekends? YouTube since 2012. How are you guys' weekends going? I hope you guys are having a good weekend. For me, I just, got exercise a little bit, did some grocery shopping. That's pretty much my weekend. This is what I'm saying. This is why I say you guys are my friends, right? Maybe it seems sad. Maybe it seems sad, but I view you guys as friends because honestly, you guys keep life interesting for me. Busy weekend. Hope you all have had a great weekend. Not bad. How about you? Alan, what's up, my brother? It's an okay weekend, just a relaxing weekend. You exercise. Nice. I did a bit of exercising. Right? Did a bit of exercising and just bought some grocery. That's not sad at all. Thank you. I mean, considering a bunch of internet people, my friends, and if it's not sad, I feel better, right? I feel better. Writing books and reading books, big bars. I love it. Men gotta keep gaining knowledge. You gotta keep gaining knowledge. Keep on improving yourself. I love it. I love it, guys. You guys are amazing. Yeah, writing books is amazing. That's badass. I give you guys credit for writing a book. I give you credit, big bars. All right, to respond to the question, because I'm interested. Number one, I guess I agree with that. I'm down with it. Not really sure what two means, though. Could you explain? Okay, number two. So, I don't believe that there should be demand for privacy in a relationship. So, what do I mean? When you are like, closing up your phone, when you, don't, when you're suspicious, right? You got to take a phone call in another room. When honestly, if the room is not loud, right? If the room you're in is not loud, there's no real reason that you want, that you need to go to another room. You just want to go to another room to have a private conversation. I don't believe that. Hiding your text messages. You don't want your partner to know who you're texting. You don't want your partner know who you're having a conversation with. A demand, right? A demand for privacy, right? Saying no to a partner having access to your phone. I think that's a red flag in my opinion, right? A demand for privacy. Particularly, I think, when you're trying to establish trust between each other, okay, I think phone etiquette is a big factor, right? Phone etiquette is a big factor of establishing trust between each other. So if I have nothing to hide, I don't care if my girlfriend has access to my phone. Yes, it goes both ways, right? I'm big on equality. A man shouldn't be hiding his phone, right? We should both be trying to build trust, right? I want you to trust me. I don't have nothing to hide. You shouldn't have anything to hide. So I agree. It's both ways. It goes both ways. Like Evil Eddie, if you both ways, good point. I don't want to see her phone either. Here's the thing, right? If that's how you want to establish a relationship, okay, right? If you don't want to care about her phone, then it's understandable that you know you don't want her to care about your phone. I get it. 2 for 2 for that 2 for 2. All right, I love it. You know, Alan, we're growing more and more agreeing on things. I love it, right? I love that we can find some agreements on things. I need a sugar mama. I mean, you know what? Sometimes I thought about that, right? I mean, I guess I'm probably too old for a sugar mama. And I don't know if I could deal with it, but you know. Okay, though. Number 3 is kind of insane. Though you're going to have to exaggerate with that, right? I don't think it's exaggeration, right? So, number 3. Let me explain number 3. A man in a relationship with you should get sex or sex acts anytime he wants, within reason, because hell, you're a big brother fan of common ground, but 3 is very unrealistic. Here's the thing, right? I don't think it's unrealistic. Now, number 3, I don't mean by force, right? I don't mean force. I'm not saying force, but here's why I see it. If you are in a monogamous relationship with someone, so both parties expect monogamy, right? Sexual loyalty from you. That comes with responsibility. This is something that we don't talk about. I don't think anyone talks about this, right? Sexual responsibility. People in monogamous relationships expect sexual loyalty, but you do not understand the responsibility that comes with sexual loyalty, right? That's the thing where I think no one has a conversation about this at all. Well, I mean, that sounds kind of forceful when put like that. Even you can admit. No, that's what I said. That's why I put within reason. I put within reason, right? I mean, I said a man should get sex with you or sex acts when he wants, within reason. Okay? And within reason, that's why I try to be, I try to put that in because here's the thing. It's not force, but if it feels like it's force, there's a problem, right? Because then you don't want to have sex with him, right? If you don't want to have sex with him, I mean, there's a problem where this is a thing where I think lack of sex, right, or lack of sex from a good period of time is a good indicator of a problem within the relationship. Okay, so let's say hypothetically you were in a relationship with someone. The beginning, you guys are having sex every other day, right? In the beginning, you guys are having sex every other day. So now, after, let's say, a year of a relationship, now you guys are having sex once a month. And then the times that it's like she's turning you down a lot of times. You know, that's something, right? She's turning you down a lot of times. You're having sex like once a month. Well, it's a good indicator that there's a problem within the relationship. And that's what I mean more, right? If that's not even, if a man is not even getting sex from you, there's an issue. There's a problem that's not being addressed. Does within reason also mean I don't want to, please stop begging me for a head, or do you have a problem with that? Does within reason also mean I don't want to, please stop begging me for a head? Here's the thing, right? If a woman, or I guess begging for head, if a woman is like anyone, right, is that I don't want to, stop begging me, there's a problem. Okay, because I think there's a problem with it where you're in a position where if they don't want to, if they find sex with you, right? If they find sex with you annoying, if you have to beg for intimacy, there is a problem. So I think number 3 is a good indicator that there's a problem within your relationship. I mean, especially if the man is just doing belly to belly missionary for 5 minutes without giving the woman an orgasm. I don't blame the woman for that, for not wanting to do that. Here's the thing, right? Like, okay, I agree with you. Then she should leave, right? I don't understand if you're not enjoying the intimacy with your partner. And let me say this, you're not communicating your lack of enjoyment with your partner, you should leave. That's why number 3 is a good indicator. I've stayed in a sexist relationship for way too long, and I think a lot of men do. I think a lot of men do stay in a sexless relationship for way too long. Okay? And we're not realizing that, honestly, you shouldn't. Because there's a problem within your relationship. So that is something that you need to be addressing. Because if you're not satisfied in sex, that's a big issue. I'm not saying that's the only issue, but that's a good indicator that there's a problem within the relationship. So I believe number 3 is a good thing where it shows you that there's a problem within the relationship. Right? There's a problem. I just mean if a dude sucks in bed, then yeah, I don't think the woman is obligated to pleasure him. If he's not pleasuring her, sex isn't the same for women. For women, doesn't mean that they can't be loved. I disagree. I disagree because here's the thing, right? If sex isn't a big issue, then honestly, what is the intimacy? I mean, for human beings, sex is a big thing to connect each other. Right? Sex is a big thing to connect each other. You're just fucking friends. Right? Let's say this, right? If you take out intimacy in a relationship, you are basically just friends. That intimacy, in my opinion, is at least maybe the one or biggest factor in determining if you are actually in a relationship or you're just friends. Right? That's my thing. You might as well just be in a friendship. And if that's true, then honestly, there's an issue. Okay, and for a man, if he's not getting sex is a big issue for a man. And if she's not getting sex and she's not enjoying it, well, 1, she should communicate it. 2, if she's not enjoying it, she should leave, because plenty of women will cheat if they're not enjoying sex with a man anyway. Because I'm talking about it's an indicator that there's problems in the relationship. Right? There's problems in the relationship. If 1, he's being rejected, 2, she's not being pleased. Well, there's problems. You're not communicating, and there could be multiple problems. Maybe she fell out of love with him. You know. Can you just phrase the point as both the woman and the man should be on the same page sexually, and if the sex is bad, irregular, they should break up? That's very wordy. That's very wordy. I mean, would you agree with the sentiment if you swap the word for man for women in your sentence? Here's the thing, right? Let's say if I swapped it for a woman. A woman in a relationship with you should get sex or sex acts anytime she wants. Okay, I'll agree the same way. But that's not a common thing, right? Let's say this. Why do I write the ways I think? We got to think about what's the common, right? So many people, when I wrote 50-50, right? When I wrote 50-50, people was like, no, it should be 100-100. I get it. But again, what I'm writing is the more common viewpoint, right? 50-50 is the common viewpoint. So a man being in a sexless relationship is more common, right? A man being in a sexless relationship is more common than a woman being in a sexless relationship. So it's not common for women to be in sexless relationships. My girlfriend gets more disappointed than I. I don't go down more than I do. It just depends on. But here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. It's about communication. You know it, right? You know it. And second, she chose to still stay with you. She chose to still stay with you. That's the thing where I'm more saying that, okay, if there's a problem in the sex life, that's where you need to have a conversation, because I think that's a big indicator that there's issues in your relationship. So let's say if Alan, your girlfriend, says no, we're not having sex, and you guys haven't had sex for months on end. Well, there's a problem that needs to be addressed. right? It's showing you that there's a problem that needs to be addressed. Whether you fix it or not, then, that's determining how the relationship will go about. If if it takes a man and a woman to be in a relationship, then wouldn't that mean sex relationships for men are just as common? Here's the thing. Women do not complain about sexless relationships. Women do not complain that their man isn't giving them sex. I think women are more, they can easily, take that out of their system. Men, it's a harder time. Men have a hard time. No, I'm saying who complains, right? Who talks about a sexless relationship? It is mostly men that talks about being in a sexless relationship. Women, they can focus on other shit. Women could be bothered. Yeah, that would be a problem and probably indicative of a larger problem, but that doesn't mean I'm gonna take it as some personal attack against me. I mean, in my opinion, if your woman doesn't want to have sex with you, I would take it as a personal attack. Right? If your girlfriend, if your wife does not want to have sex with you, right? And that sex can go on for months, if a year or more, I would take it as a personal attack. I'm in college. I promise you that it goes both ways. I don't know about people your age, but with mine, literally everyone complains about that shit when they're drunk. But here, I mean, this is a thing where I don't know about you, right? Maybe it's weird, right? Having young women complaining about being in a relationship where they're not getting sex. Maybe that's within your college group, but I don't hear that out in the world. I mean, maybe that is common for you. And maybe that is an age group thing. Maybe that could be an age group thing, but I kind of doubt that, right? I kind of doubt a young woman being in a relationship with another young man complains that young man doesn't want to have sex with her. In a relationship, I don't know. I kind of doubt it, but I will defer to you since that is your age group. It doesn't seem to make sense to me, right? Because what young man does not want to have sex or have sex often? I'm not saying that, young men are wanting to have sex like rabbits, right? Every second of every day. I mean, maybe you're not lying. Maybe you're not lying. But let me say this. Let me say also this, right? We got to understand this, where we got to also take a step back. A lot of them. How much is a lot? Do you think 1 million? Do you think 1 million of them? It's all good. It's all good. Well, again, right, Alan, you got to think about this. So Alan said, especially if you still blame women for hookup culture, then wouldn't that mean you could celebrate the men who aren't always wanting meaningless sex? I guess that's where I'm confused. Again, I'm not talking about meaningless sex, right? I'm talking about in a relationship. I'm not talking about meaningless sex. I'm really just trying to get your perspective on this because I haven't experienced what you have. But from my perspective, there's plenty of unrealistic expectations. Of course, I never said there's not plenty of unrealistic expectations, right? But again, I think, Alan, sometimes you are always skewed on one side, right? And I'm not saying that it's the bad thing, but it's always seems like you're skewed. I mean, it's like, I find this kind of funny, right? So we're seeing this right now, where how young men, more and more young men are going over to the right, okay, and you wonder why, right? So because I think we have a lot of young men like you, or just a lot of people who only view things on what the women think, right? You view things on what women experience. You don't actually view things on what men experience. So let's say this, right? Because statistics, you always like statistics, you always like numbers, right? So it is true that more men experience sexlessness than women. So according to a paired, 15% of men reported a past year of sexlessness. All right. And let's say this: married men, 6% of married men said no sex. All right, in the past year, 3% of men reported no sex in the past 5 years. Men experience this is I think it's an issue. I'm not saying it's the biggest issue around. I'm not saying that's the biggest issue, right? But I'm saying it's an issue that men face, and I'm saying that, you know what, when sexlessness comes into a relationship, you gotta make it an issue. It's called paired. It's called paired, right? It's an article. It's a survey, right? Paired. Darius the Great, what's up, my brother? Thank you for being here. Red Door, what's up, my sister? What's up, my sister? And again, you know what? My number 3 is more like, I'm talking about, it's an indication. It's an indicator, right? That there are problems in the relationship, right? It's not more about like trying to force anything. My purpose isn't, my number 3 is not meaning to like, oh, you got to force something to happen, right? So my number 3 is more like, oh, if this is happening, right, where it feels like it's forced, where it feels like you're unwanted, there's a problem in your relationship. There's a problem you have. I haven't some unfortunate news, dude. I believe, like, my point of view is to be, showing that this is something, a warning sign, in a sense.
inside is bleeding when your heart's bleeding and all you can see is red till you discover it is within each other to forgive and make amends. If I had known then what I know now, I wouldn't have
Laughing Man.
said. I took the long road, thought I'd be better on my own.
No, no.
Instead, 'cause I was too young and I didn't understand that you are the one. And I can't wait to see you again. Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait. I can't wait.
Okay, Alan. What you gave me isn't relationship, right? What you sent. Those aren't people in relationships, right? Those aren't people in relationships. Well, this it's not a big discrepancy because no one. We all know that women don't desire. I mean, women are not as desirous of sex as men are. And again, my number three, right? My number three is again, right? My number three is more a thing that if the relationship is becoming sexless, there's a problem, right? So that's basically why my number three is like that. Evil Eddie, I agree. In my experience, when you turn a woman down for sex, especially in a relationship, it's a big problem. But if she turns you down, that's okay. I agree. No, that's why this is a thing where I know it says on a relationship in general, but I'm not. I don't. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. What do we call it? That women, you know, uh, the. I'm not talking about this discrepancy, right? One, I'm talking about men are more likely. Men are more likely to complain about sexless relationships. And I'm more saying that if the relationship becomes like that, there's a serious problem. Again, my problem is, like I said, my point is that when a relationship becomes sexless, there's an issue, right? When it becomes that there's less desire, right? There's an issue. When it becomes, it seems like it's forced. It seems like she's not wanting. There's an issue to be talked about. There's an issue to be made. I think a lot of men stay in sexless relationship way too long. No, no, no. I'm not saying women are less likely to be in sexual relationship, right? I said that women are less likely to talk about it. Right? I think men talk about sexual relationships are more than women do. My claim is that I'm not saying that women are less likely to be in sexless relationships. That's not my claim. I said that women are not likely to be in sexless relationships. No, I said men are in sexless relationships. Right? I mean, I see. This is the thing where you maybe focus that if I said that men are in sexless relationship, right? Men are in sexual relationship. That means that women aren't. No, that's not what I meant. Right? I agree that if men aren't getting sex in a relationship, I'm not saying that women are. I'm saying that men are in sexless relationships. I think more often men are in sexless relationships, and they're the ones who are complaining about it. I never said it doesn't, right? I mean, it does make sense that if a man is not having sex in a relationship, usually a woman wouldn't too. I'm saying that, right? If a man is not getting sex in a relationship, there's an issue, right? Now, if she's not getting sex in a relationship, there's an issue too. But for me, it's like I'm saying that, you know, I I don't believe. I mean, it could be true, right? It could be true, but I don't see it on average. I don't see it in on average. I don't see no indicator on it that if let's say this, both are but both are not suffering in the same way, right? I don't think both are suffering in the same way, right? I don't think a woman is suffering that she can't get sex. Now, maybe what you said, right? Like your girlfriend, because you couldn't satisfy her correctly. Well, she's suffering not because she can't get sex. She's suffering because she can't get satisfied. Right? I think women suffer in a different way. I'm saying men are suffering because they're not getting sex. Right? So if the relationship has turned into that means there is an issue. I think that's my biggest issue with DA, respectfully. You say a lot of real shit, but you like to spin it in some exclusively male issue that there's no real evidence to prove. Here's the thing, right? But look at this, right? Let me say this. Alan, do you know why? Do you know why that a lot of young men are going over to the right? Because it's people like you that don't focus on men at all. Right? It's people like you that don't focus on men at all. Everything has to when you talk about when you talk about men's issue, oh, you gotta bring back to it has women are suffering too. That's the problem where with Democrats. That's the problem with Democrats. Problem with Democrats, the left, with feminists, is that you cannot talk about men's issue unless you bring up women's issue. And a lot of young men are saying like, what the hell? When you talk about women's issue, right? When you talk about women's issue, no one's forcing women to talk about men's issue. What about? Yes, it's that whataboutism, right? It's whataboutism. That's the thing. I find it really funny, right? We talk about let's say hypothetically, right? Hypothetically, we talk about sexual violence against women, right? We talk about sexual violence against women, and then if men bring up, oh, what about false allegations? He will be ripped. He will be destroyed if you're talking about women's violence against women, and then you bring up what about the false allegations against men? No, it's because there's people like you that tell them exactly what they want to hear, and prop them up as some superior being and tell them that men's issues are worth more than. I literally never said men's issue are worth more than women's issue. I'm saying that why can't we focus on men's issue? That's the problem with you. That's the problem with you, Alan, right? And I'm sorry. That's why you are part. And it makes sense why you are part of the left and the Democratic Party, because you think it's that talking about men's issue, it's about superiority instead of why can't we focus on men? Why must we never focus on men? And this is why a lot of young men are changing sides. And this is why the Democratic Party, the left, are not able to, get young men on their side. Because you don't talk to young men. You don't care about young men. You care, you got to point the finger. It's got to be young women. It's got to be about women. And that's the problem. Alan, this is the thing where it's sad that you only watch my videos recently. I have talked about men's issues a lot of times, right? I've talked about men's, self-deletion rate many times. I've talked about men's self-deletion rates many times. I've talked about men's mental health many times. But here's the thing, right? What you don't realize is what you're exactly doing. Do you know a lot of men's issue is why they would self-delete, or a lot of their issues, mental health, is dealing when it comes to women, right? Lack of success with women. It's again, women are very important in men's life, right? Men know that they need women. It is women who. This is what I say, right? It is women who build the propaganda, the stage where they don't need men. Men are not building that. Men are not talking that they don't need women. See, that's the thing, right? You call it. See, that's why false allegations usually lead to exoneration. Anyway, it's negligible. That's the thing where, see, if it's something, but when it comes to men, it's not that important. It's not that big. But again, this is the problem. We've had generations of, honestly, no one cares about any issues that deals with young men. Evil Eddie. And that's my thing where I never, when I talk about things, I'm not saying that women are less important, right? How I go about it, I'm not talking about, oh, let's talk about men's issue while let's shit on women. No, that's not how I go about it. I've said this plenty of times, and the people who actually follow me, hear what I say, right? I say I'm not hating on women when I talk about men, right? I'm not hating on women when I'm talking about men. I don't really, that's not me, right? I don't support that. I don't support, oh, let's hate on women while we talk about men's issues. No. So if I'm talking about men experience sexless relationships, again, that doesn't mean that, oh, women are terrible. Women, no. It's just, I'm focusing on men. We build a society where we constantly think the worst of men. We constantly don't think that men deserve a focus. Men deserve to, you know what? This is a thing where, I don't know about you, but a while back, when people were talking about men's health issue, we had so many women come online and talk about, who cares about men's issues? Who cares about men's mental health? Right? And that's the thing where it's like we can never talk about men's issue because, again, society doesn't care. And I've said this before, both men and women don't care about men. Right? Both men and women do not care about men. And literally, Alan is someone that showing that instead of caring about things that are happening to men, no, we have to bring it back. What's happening to women also? Do not forget what's happening to women. Do not forget what's happening to women. And it's like, I get it. We need to always think about women. But what about men? That's my thing, right? And that's why I built my platform. That is why I built my platform, because I'm tired of this. I'm tired of the narrative that, okay, we must always think about what's happening to women. But what about men? Right? What about men? Okay, I'll be real with you. I tried to delete myself a few years ago and went down the manosphere pipeline to get over it. And all it did was make me more bitter and antagonistic against women. Here's the thing, right? Alan, here's my point. So I've been in the same boat to you, right? I said this before, right? A couple years ago, I wanted to, same thing, right? I could say the same thing. But for me, we're different people. I did it. I went down the pipeline and I gained strength out of it. I didn't hate women, right? I didn't hate women, but I didn't put women on a pedestal anymore. I didn't put women on a pedestal. I didn't treat women like they were better than men. I didn't treat women like they're angels. I didn't treat women like they're goddesses. I didn't treat women like they're different than men, right? So again, I've said this before. I said this in many of my videos. Do not idolize anybody. I do not idolize nobody. All right, Redpill, whatever, manosphere content is just a bunch of people talking, right? It's about it's logic, right? It's just a description sometimes. What you do with said description, that is up to you, right? So if I tell you to do something, it's up to you how you interpret it and how you use it to make it work for you, right? And I don't know how you, me personally, I don't know how you, took whatever, all the things they said, right? I don't know how you interpreted all the things that the people you watch, what they said. And that's honestly how you got to go about it. I honestly hated most people, but it's not because of these things. It's because, and this is the thing, Alan. Did you wanted to delete yourself because of women? Right? I don't understand that. Did you want to delete yourself because of women? And then you search red pill, or was it other things? Were you having a hard time with women? Again, you know what? This is a thing where you can't. First of all, Andrew Wilson, he's religious, right? The man is religious. To expect a religious man to love on, people of the LGBT whatever community, you are ridiculous, right? You are ridiculous. I think that's honestly foolhardy. Okay, and plus, this is the thing, right? To be honest, you gotta look at things in a different light. Okay, I've said this before. Like I said, never idolize anybody. Right? You listen to what you listen to, and you process it yourself. Right? Us as men, we have to persevere. Right? Get the guidance you can get. Use it how you should use it. No, not really. I was just terminally lonely and terminally online and kept being told by these people that they were the problem and I'm perfect. And that is completely wrong and useless. I don't know what you're talking about. Who calls you perfect? That's not manosphere content, right? No manosphere content creator talks about perfection. The truth hurts, but shit, once I realized that I was the source of most of my problems. Actually, this is a thing where, again, I don't know who you're listening to. I don't know who you listen to, but a lot of manosphere, if not all manosphere content, talks about men's accountability. Right? I believe most of manosphere content talks about men's accountability. You need to self-improve. You need to be the best version of yourself. Right? You need to not put women on a pedestal. Not think not to think that women are better than you. Not to think that, having a woman is the end all to be all, right? Women are as human as you. Women are as flawed as you, right? Women are not better than a man, and men are not better than a woman. Also, no, I do not think that it's ridiculous to assume that religion of peace and acceptance should treat gay people with respect. No, I don't. I don't. This is a thing where I'm not a religious man, right? I'm not a religious man. But even I know that religion is not accepting of, let's say, gay people. I know that, right? That is not, because I don't know what you, but like, again, religion is not telling you to. I mean, I don't know about you, but I don't hear Andrew saying that we need to harm gay people. Right? But accepting, what do you mean by accepting, right? It's like, okay, fine. If you're going to be gay, you're going to be gay. But, and this is a thing where, this is a thing where there's right and wrong in their religion. And again, I don't follow religion. So I don't take what religious people say to heart. Unless you're a religious person, I don't know what to tell you, but I don't take what religious people say to heart because I'm not religious myself. I do not confine myself to religion. I do not, box myself in with religion. Well, I don't know. I mean, because this is a thing where, could that be true? Because I know religious people do talk about sinners, right? Religious people do talk about sinners because should they accept every single person? Like people who, PDFs? Should they accept PDFs? Should they accept killers and murderers and criminals? I mean, there are rules and boundaries and certain things. But like I said, I don't follow religion. I don't confine myself to religion. So if religious people don't like me, okay, that's up to them. That is their prerogative. They have a right. They have a right not to like everybody, right? Religious people have a right not to like everybody. But this is the thing where here's my thing with Alan. Okay, you you're very critical of everyone who doesn't fall in line with your worldview, right? I find that how it seems like you're more critical with people who don't fall in line with your worldview. So if I made up a religion and 2,000 years later they started saying that Asian dudes with dyed hair should be excluded from society, would you accept that and not be upset? I wouldn't be upset. I wouldn't give a shit. Right? That's the thing where I wouldn't be upset. I wouldn't give a shit. Now, let's say this, right? If they control society, and let's say if they made laws, right? If they made laws and then suddenly tried to kick me out, then yes, I agree. Right? If they made laws and try to do something about it, right, that it actually affects my life, then okay. I don't agree with any organized religion. I follow my traditional religion and teachings. People are free to follow what they want. I agree. Red Door. This is a thing where I do not. This is the problem with also the left, right? They expect everyone to like them, be like them, and love them, right? And follow or believe the same thing they believe. I don't believe that, right? I'm a big supporter of, be who you are. Be whoever you want to be, right? It is your life. If that's how you are, that's how you are. I don't. I'm not into, changing people's point of views like that. This is why I've said this before. I mean, yeah, they step on your freedom. I agree too, unless they step on your freedom. I agree. If they are stepping on your freedom, then you have the right to react to it. You have the right to react to it. I don't disagree with that. No, I don't. I don't want them to be respectful to me and not judge me based on my one aspect. This is a thing where, to me, someone who's respectful to me is just ignore me, right? Don't deal with me. Right? I don't need you to really intrude. These people have never met me and will never, but will still regulate me to a number and then send them to justify hate. I don't know what you mean by number, right? And to be honest, this is my thing, right? It is ridiculous to live in a world where you think that everyone will love you, or everyone will like you, or everyone will. There will always be people that will hate you, like you, be indifferent to you. There will always be those people. I don't care, right? I could care less if people hate Asian people. I don't care, right? Now, if you do something about it, right? If you do something about it, then okay, right? If people are like doing something to you because they hate you, then you have the right to defend yourself, right? If people are doing something to you because they hate you, you have the right to protect yourself. Sierra Dolls, what's up? Yes, big bars, I agree. I don't care who don't like me. I don't care. What's up, Sierra Dolls? Thank you for being here. If you guys are bored, we're just chilling. We're just hanging out. I miss you too. Which is what I'm doing. One conversation at a time. Yeah, I mean, just having a conversation. It's not a bit. I don't mind, right? This is why I would never block Alan or kick you out. I don't mind opposing views. I don't mind different people with different views. But this is the thing. Not everyone would be accepting. Not everyone is open-minded. And that's something that I will have to accept. That's something that we all have to accept, right? Not everyone will think like you. Not everyone will be you, right? It's just how the world is. I don't get hung up on, people need to like me. People need to, treat me a certain way, right? Unless you're not, I don't know, impeding on my rights, I don't care. I'm a nonconformist. Excuse the colloquialism, but I beat my drum. I love it. I love it, Red Door. I just think it's absurd for you to think that there's never been a pattern of general disrespect turning into lies, turning into oppression, turning into suffering, and turning into generational hell. Here's the thing, right? Alan, I don't know about you. Have you ever seen the Minority Report? Alan, have you ever seen the Minority Report? All right? So, it's a Tom Cruise movie. The Minority Report is a Tom Cruise movie. So, the premise is that they have some, like, psychics, right? Some psychics. These are psychics that will predict people. The movie, yes, the movie. The Minority Report with Tom Cruise, right? So, there's some psychics that predicts crimes. Pre-crime, exactly. So, they will predict you being a criminal, right? Doing some criminal acts before you ever even did something, right? They predict it. That's a slippery slope. So now they're doing things that, you know what, you may predict it. You may do a crime or you may not. So they're put people into whatever, in prison before ever committing a crime, right? So these are technically these are innocent people. These are innocent people, but put into jail or whatever because the belief that they will eventually do a crime. And that's the thing. This is a slippery slope we do it, right? So we are doing a guessing game, right? So if someone doesn't like you or disrespects you, now you think that said person will disrespect you. Oh, they're going to turn into, let's say, oppress you. Now this person is going to oppress you. This person is going to what? Create generational help to you. Now you are just assuming this person's future. All good, Sierra. Thank you just for coming by. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the support. I'm very humble and thank you for even the smallest amount of support, right? So thank you. Thank you. Bye. Thank you for being here. So that's what I mean where thank you for the love. Thank you for the love. I love it. I love it. Thank you. Thank you. Have a good night. Have a good night. And that's the thing where I want people to understand, right? We have to be a bit more, I mean, again, if you understand it, I'm saying that, you know, in this life, there's no such thing as 100%. A little empathy goes a long way is all I'm saying. I don't disagree, right? I don't disagree. But here's the thing where I find it really, I don't know, delusional. In life, everyone won't empathize with you, right? In life, everyone won't love you, be kind to you, respect you, right? That's just not life, right? I'm sorry. That's just not how life works. Now, this is why, Alan, you know, you're still young, right? You're amazing. You're naive. You believe in a utopia, which is, you know, Alan, you know what? I was like you. I was exactly like you, right? My brother, I was exactly like you when I was your age. Exactly like you, right? I believe in this utopia. I believe in this. I believe in a utopia where everyone is kind to everyone, everyone loves everyone respects everyone. It's a beautiful, beautiful utopia. But it's a utopia that's honestly delusional. Right? But this is the thing where it doesn't, again, it's nice to think about. It's not reality. I'm sorry. It's just not reality. Right? Even though I don't believe in a utopia, I just believe in a world where we at least strive for that. Here's my thing. I believe we're always striving for it. Right? I believe we're always striving for it. I mean, it's really that bad for me to want people to be more respecting. It's not that bad, right? Alan, it's not that bad. But it's also unrealistic. Now, I honestly believe that people are more kind and respecting than you think, right? So let's say, how can I determine that, right? How can I determine that people are more kind and respectful than you think? You can look at the crime rates, right? You can look at the crime rates. We have a, couple 100 million population, but we only have like maybe a handful of millions that do crime. Let's say the thing where the Charlie Kirk thing, okay? Let's say the Charlie Kirk thing, when someone who was very big on the right got killed. You didn't see the right go riot. You didn't see the right go riot. You didn't see the right go crazy. I think people are more respectful, are more you know, not as crazy, not as hateful as most people think, right? Now, I agree that social media paints a lot of, they prop up the minority more than they prop up the majority. If you want to genuinely believe that it's unrealistic and utopian idea for conservatives to stop calling me a faggot and a Jew every time I get into an argument, then I think you're very callous. Here's my thing, right? I think you are I think you are this is the thing. I think you are, you know, you gotta think, right? At sometimes that I grew up in an age, right? I grew up in an age where a lot of people said, right, sticks and stones will break your bones, right? But words would never hurt me. I don't care. I've had people call me chink. I've had so many people call me gay. A while back, let me say this, right, Alan? A while back, one of my most viral videos, right? One of my most viral video I had was I supported Trump. I supported Trump's deportations of illegal immigrants, right? That is one of my most viral videos on TikTok, right? Me saying that as an Asian man, I support Donald Trump's deportation of illegal immigrants. I can tell you this. Do you not know how many death threats I got from the left? From Democrats, the left and Democrats, saying that I need to die. Saying that, you need to be deported. Saying that you and your family are disgusting. Calling me names, calling me that, I've gotten death threats, right? From the left, from Democrats. People that, you got Sierra, you ate quickly. The time to watch the best. No, I'm not no. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the love. You ate quick. But see, this is the thing where I got a lot of death threats from, like people calling me like, gay too, calling me ugly, calling me like a whole lot of shit. Right? So, but I took it, great that you disavow it, but honestly, it's like, no, it's all good. I'm more saying that, my brother, right? As time goes on, I learned that, one, you gotta think, you are online. If you're debating someone, particularly, I'm not saying you, if you're debating someone particularly online, you are introducing yourself to hundreds, if not, thousands of people. So you have more opportunity to receive hate. It's just how it is, right? It's just how it is. So I try not to get upset with people being hateful, because at the end of the day, I don't care. I don't care if people are hateful or not, right? I care if people are enacting, right, said hate through violence, right, through actions. But if people are saying shit, I don't care, right? I live during the age where sticks and stones will break my bones, but words will never hurt me, right? That's a model that I grew up on. I grew up on that, and I honestly believe it, right? I don't care, because I've gotten ever since I started doing social media, I've gotten so much hate. I've gotten so much disrespectful comments. I don't care. Right? To be honest, it's part of the game, right? And let's say this, right? Even Eddie said it, right? If you're debating with someone and they started using ad hominems, you are winning the debate, right? So let's say this, if I was debating with you, Alan, and then you started calling me a chink, start calling me faggot or whatever, I would say, I know I'm beating you. I know I'm beating you, because you are using, you cannot win the debate, so you have to attack me, right? You're not winning the debate, so you have to attack me. So I actually, for me personally, I take it as a compliment. I'll take it as a compliment because honestly, I could tell you that, oh, I'm winning. Exactly. I won. I won because honestly, you have nothing to stand on. You cannot debate me. You cannot have a good conversation with me. So what you have to do is attack me. So that's why when I said when I had all those hateful comments, I'm like, okay, so what? It seems like none of these people can focus on my conversation. They have to attack me because they have nothing better to say. Yeah, people suck and hate. Indeed, hate is everywhere. And this is the thing with Alan, right? I agree, hate is everywhere. But look at this, right? Me and you, how many times have we disagreed? So every time we talk, right? Every time we talk, we disagree. But I respect you. Hopefully, you respect me. So doesn't that show you that, you know what? There's always if you watch Star Wars, you should know that there's for a light side, there's a dark side, right? For every light side, there's a dark side, right? So, you know, that's the world we live in. If there is if there's a Jedi, there's a Sith. So if there's a Jedi, there's a Sith. So we have to understand yin and yang. Yin and yang. For good people, there have to be bad people. So that's what we have to understand, right? Yeah, of course, I do think, I do. I just think that your views aren't really that respecting sometimes, which is why I like to argue. I mean, here's the thing, right? The views themselves may not be respecting, but I respect people, right? How I talk to people, I respect them. Views, that's up to you, right? Whether you find them respectful or not, that's up to you. And here's the thing where I don't claim to, you know, how I respect people is not through my opinions, right? How I respect people is not through my opinions. How I respect people is how I talk to people. Right? So that's how I go about it, right? How I respect people is how I talk to people. So whether you find my views respectful or not, that's up to you, right? That's up to you. If you find it respectful, that's up to you. So why did the Jedis even fight the Sith at the point? Because this is the thing, all right? Yin and Yang will always be at odds, right? The Jedis and the Sith will always be at odds. Right? Good and evil will always be at odds. Right? There's no that's the way of the world. Thank you everyone for being here. Thank you guys. I love you guys. You guys are amazing. You guys are amazing. All right, guys, that is it for tonight. Yeah. Sure, I don't mind. Sierra, just don't go crazy, right? Just don't go crazy. Sorry, Evil Eddie. But you know what? I'm going to start a stream on my other channel. I'm going to start a stream on my other channel in a couple hours. Right? I'm going to start a stream on my other channel in a couple hours, right? So if you guys do want to check it out, I'll have a different topic on my other stream in a couple hours, right? Good, Sierra. Don't go crazy. All right, I love you guys, right? You guys are all amazing. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the support, right? No problem, right? I always want to show love to people who show me love, right? So thank you, Sierra Doll, for being here. Jeremy or Alan, thank you for being here. Evil Eddie, Red Door, my sister, I love you. I love you. Big Bars, I love you, my brother. Steve, you are amazing. But yeah, Laughing Man, you guys, I love you guys, right? So like I said, I'll probably start a stream on my other channel in a couple hours, right? So I love you guys. If you have a good night, please check out my other videos. Later, guys.